As technology in the field of robotics continues to improve, many jobs are facing an increasing risk of being replaced by a machine that can do the same job cheaper and more efficiently. As an example, take for instance the cashier, which is already being replaced by self-checkout stations. Or take a look at taxi drivers. With the rapid increase in research of self-driving autonomous vehicles by large companies like Google, drivers will likely be completely taken out of the equation. Moving on, we also have jobs like your standard factory worker or warehouse worker that often have jobs that are fairly monotonous and easily done by robots. Even jobs like that of your standard barista are being replaced by coffee robots, like the one you can see here on the University of Texas campus. Note, it's good, but I still prefer to have my coffee made by a real barista.
To get the
Now,
best
let's
of
take
both
a look at a
worlds,
more
the
unlikely
fastest
example.
reflexes modern technology has to offer, onboard computer-assisted memory, and a lifetime of on-the-street law enforcement programming. It is my great pleasure to present to you RoboCop. This guy's really good.
He's not a guy.
Granted, this is pretty cool, but what kind of things are we likely to see? Well, let's take metaphorically three standard workers: Bob the pilot, Mo, some other worker, and Jim, some construction guy. And now let's say their employers found a way to use robots in their jobs. Well, what can happen? One might say that we might result in some kind of army of robots that basically just takes over all of their jobs, essentially leaving all of them laid off. So now we have Bob, who's kind of sad, Mo, who's doesn't know how to pay his rent now, and Jim's just chilling because really he didn't want a job in the first place. And we literally have the situation where everyone has lost their jobs to robots. Really, that's just a theory though. I believe we're really going to see something more like the following. And that's really the situation where man and robots work together. That is, the man helps the robot to basically be created, and the robots help the man to work more efficiently. Don't get me wrong, a lot of jobs are going to be replaced, but there will also be a ton of jobs created by the increased use of robots. Meaning that in the end, we really do love robots, and they love us. Wait, can I say that? Anyways, let's elaborate on that idea a bit. So we have a robot who's basically replaced some human job in the workplace. And then we have Bob, who is a mechanic for the robot, because they all need to operate as mechanics. And Mo, who's working with the robot, because the robot was designed to work with people. And Jim, who finally decided to get off his ass and get a job. But he had to take a lower class job to work basically under the robot. Anyway, and we have to have software programmers for the robot, so we have this programmer chick here, and well, we're actually going to need more than one programmer to write software for this robot, so we have programmer chicks. And eventually we see that even though the robot replaced some job, we now have another job for the operator and the mechanic of the robot, and we have someone that is still going to be designated to work with the robot, and even people to work under the robot, and the people to create the robot and write software for the robot. So we still have a ton of jobs that are being created. It's not like nobody has a job now. So, just like in many situations throughout history, people are going to have to learn to adapt. It may be difficult, but that's life.